So today we are going to learn how to build a stable multivibrator circuit. So this is the circuit. We'll be using the active component which is LM555, and to that we'll be connecting the external components. The components required for this experiment are two resistors and two capacitors. These are the two resistors and these are the two capacitors. So you have to take the suitable value of the resistors and start connecting. So here we'll start from this point. You have 4 and 8. 4 and 8 have to be shorted together. So for that I'll take a small single strand wire. So this, using this wire, we'll be connecting the pin numbers 4 and 8. So like this I'll connect the pin number 4 and pin number 8. So this is the spring board on which we are going to rig up the circuit. So here you have the pin numbers given, the pin numbers, but because this is the 555 IC which is of 555 IC, it will be written on the IC, you have to check it, and you can see that there are 8 pins, 4 on each side. So you have to place the IC such that you get this notch. There's a small notch, if you can see, that notch should be facing your opposite side. So the IC will be like this with a small notch on the top, which will be having 4 pins. This has to be facing to away from you, and from the left side the pin numbers will begin. So this you have to know first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So this is the IC pin with the pin numbers. So this IC with the notch facing away towards me, I will be putting it into the ZIF socket. This is called as the ZIF socket. It has to, the lock has to be open like this. You have to put the IC and then lock the socket. So once you lock, only the connections will be done. So now this ZIF socket is connected to this springs. So pin number 1 will be connected here, 2 is connected here, likewise it will be connected. So because this is a 8-pin IC, I will be using these 4 pins, and the other side 4 pins. This is a base for 16-pin IC, but we are using only 4-pin IC. So we will be using the pin numbers from 1 to 4 and 13 to 16. But for our circuit, this will be pin number 5, 6, 7 and 8. Right? So first one, we have done the connection for pin number 4 and pin number 8. So 4 and 8 I have shorted, connected them through a wire. So next is from this junction, from 8 to 7 I have to connect the resistor. So there are 3.3. So I'll take a resistor and connect it between pin number 8 pin number 8 and pin number 7. So these are spring loaded pins. That means if you want to do any connection, this flat surface, if you press it, you can insert the components. Here you will have a hole, inside that you can insert the components. So I have done one resistor connection between pin number 8 and 7. So one more is between 7 and 2. So here this can be interchanged as 6 and 2 because both are same, both are having the same connections. So from pin number 7 to 6 I will be connecting one more resistor. So that is also 3.2K. Put it between pin number 7 and pin number 6. Now these two resistors are connected. So next you have to connect 6 with 2. So for that you have to take a single strand wire. So this wire you connect between pin number 2 and 6. So press the flat surface, a hole will open, put the components inside that hole. So next is from 2 to 1 you have to connect a capacitor, and the value of the capacitor is 0.1. So this is the 0.1 capacitor. The value will be directly written on the capacitor. So you have to take the capacitor and connect it between pin number 2 and pin number 1. Pin number 2 and pin number 1. So next we are left out with this capacitor, which is connected between 1 and 5. So I can directly connect from 1 to 5. So I will connect this capacitor from 1 to some other nearest pin, and from that pin I will connect it to pin number 5. So this is pin number 5. So now these are the connections as per the circuit. And now pin number 1 has to be grounded, and we have to connect VCC for the pin number 8. So this is the power supply. So in this power supply we have the common, which will be connected to the ground, and we have plus 5 volts which has to be connected to pin number 8. So for this we'll be taking 2 long wires. So one I'll connect it from ground. I have to open this knob here, insert the wire and tighten the knob. So from here I'll connect it to pin number 1, which is ground. Then I have to connect one more wire from plus 5 volts to pin number 8 or 4. Pin number 8 already has 2-3 connections, so I'll put this connection to pin number 4. Anyway, both are at the same point, they are shorted, so both will be the same. So now this circuit is completed. Next you have to connect the output. So at pin number 3 we are going to get the output. So for checking the output, we have to check the output at 2 pin numbers. So according to the output here, we'll have 2 waveforms. The curved sawtooth-like waveform is from the pin number 2, and this rectangular waveform is from pin number 3. So we have to connect these points to the CRO. This is the CRO, where you have 2 channels. One is channel A and the other one is channel B. So you have to connect 2 probes like this. For channel A, usually we connect only the input. So input means here the waveform at pin number 2, the sawtooth waveform, which is at pin number 2. This is the waveform at pin number 2. So I will connect positive of the channel. So each channel will have 2 ends. One will be positive and the other one will be negative. So positive I have to connect from where the waveform has to be taken, and negative I will be connecting to ground. So all negatives should be connected to ground. So this is for the input. The next input are the sawtooth waveform. And next is you have to connect the output from pin number 3. So again connect positive, that is red always indicates positive and black always indicates negative. So red to pin number 3 and black to pin number 1, that is ground. So this completes the connection of the circuit. So after finishing the connection, now you have to switch on the CRO. So this is the switch to switch on the CRO. You have to switch it on. So after switching on, you have to check whether you are getting the output. So I have to switch on the power supply. Power supply is not on, so switch on the power supply and check whether you are getting the output. So this is from channel A, which is the input. So you are not able to see a clear waveform. So what you have to do, you have to change the time per division scale. So this is for the horizontal adjustment. You have to change this . If at all If at all the waveform is not clear, if it is like this, you have to use this time per division knob and change it so that you get a clear waveform like this. So here you have the position knob to shift the position up and down and place it wherever you want, and this is volts per division knob, which will help you to increase the size of the waveform or decrease it. So it is only like your camera zoom, you can either zoom in or zoom out. It doesn't change the value of the waveform. The voltage of the waveform will not be changed. So this is for, these two are for channel A, then these two are for channel B. Now if I want to lift the output waveform, so this whichever is moving is the output, the main output, that is the stable output. So you can move the position and place it anywhere you want. So after placing it, then if you want to change the voltage, you can use this knob, right? So this is for changing the position and this is for changing the reference voltage per division. So now this is the output waveform and this is the capacitor waveform, which is also called as sawtooth waveform. So once you get this, you have to note down the duty cycle. So in a stable multi-vibrator, you have 3 different duty cycles. This is for 60% duty cycle. So duty cycle means T on plus T off is total T, whereas duty cycle is T on divided by total T will give you duty cycle. It means that the duration for which the output is in high position. Duty cycle means for the duration during which the output is high. So this is the high duration and this is the low duration. So when this is the total T, out of the total T, the 60% of the duration of the time period, the output is high. Hence the duty cycle is 60%. Actually we have designed it for 66%. So hence we are getting this type of a waveform. So if you want to change this duty cycle, we have to again design and we have to find the suitable values of the resistors which we have connected here. If you change these values appropriately, we can get a 50% duty cycle or less than 50% duty cycle output. So this is the basic procedure for connecting the circuit and getting the output. So once you get the output, you have to write down these waveforms and measure the duty cycle. So for measuring the duty cycle, here you have the horizontal position. You can move the waveform either from left to right or right to left. So just coincide the waveform to one of the vertical, measure the horizontal distance. So this is almost 2 divisions here, 2 divisions into whatever time it has been set to. So here you can see a pointer, a mark here. This mark is showing at 0.1 milliseconds. So it is that CRO is placed at 0.1 millisecond time per division. So you have to multiply this 2, whatever you have measured here, 2 into 0.1 millisecond. So that will give you the time for T on. Then you measure the time for T off. So T off, you can clearly see that it is 1 division. So it is 1 into 0.1 millisecond. So for calculating the practical duty cycle, whatever you have achieved, to calculate the duty cycle, you have to write the formula T on by T. So this is nothing but, so 2 divisions into 0.1 millisecond divided by, so total T is 2 plus 1, which is 3 into 0.1 millisecond. So millisecond will get cancelled, so it is 2 by 3. So you will get around 66%. So this is your calculated or measured duty cycle. So it should be approximately equal to your designed value of duty cycle. So here we have done the design in the manual for a 66% duty cycle. So this is your aim, to see that the practical measured value is equal to the theoretical designed value. So both should be almost 66%. So afterwards you can continue and design it for greater than 50% is over, equal to 50% and less than 50%. So this is the procedure for connecting a stable multiplier. Thank you.